The remains of and spirit of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi will be fetched by his family at the mortuary in uLundi to return home ahead of the funeral. The 95-year-old will be laid to rest in a special official funeral, Category 1, as accorded by President Cyril Ramaphosa earlier this week. Newzroom Afrika reporters Ziyanda Ngcobo, as well as Mnisi and Bongani Gema, are in uLundi following events there for us. Let me perhaps start with Mnisi. As we know that this is really heading towards the final resting place of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, with his body being received by the family. You outside the mortuary, talk to us about what's happening there.
Well, poor final preparations are now being put in place for the remains to be transported back home today. As you can see behind me, some of the vehicles from the mortuary also arriving, and the preparation that has been done just outside the mortuary itself tells you that today is indeed a big day, and that this afternoon we're expecting quite a number of people to come here. But most importantly, the family is also expected to come here right before the remains are transported back at home. So it's still relatively quiet, but what I can tell you is that the preparations are underway. The members of the SAPS are also on site. As you would have heard yesterday, the eldest daughter of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, Princess Phumzile Buthelezi, telling my colleague Ziyanda Ngcobo about the level of security that was also deployed to the mortuary that was looking after the remains of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. The founder and owner of this mortuary now, I see, has just also arrived, Nomfundo Mqoyi there, making her way across the street. But at a later stage then, we're expecting that, all the preparations will be done. We're hoping maybe she will come and speak to us about the kind of preparation that had to go into ensuring that everything is in order, especially when you look at the kind of person and the stature of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. So it certainly does promise to be a very busy afternoon. I mean, if you drive around uLundi, what we're also able to witness with my colleague Morena Likita were also quite a number of police officials, in the CBD as well, making their way around, which gives you a sense that something is about to happen. Obviously, they're preparing for the busy afternoon. The Treasurer General of the IFP telling us earlier that they're expecting a number of people to come out in their numbers from various sectors to witness this historic moment.
Very well, Mnisi, as we continue to develop the story and, of course, get a bigger sense of what will happen ahead of the funeral, the arrangements on the ground, as well as the logistics. Let's cross over to Ziyanda Ngcobo. Good morning to you, Ziyanda. Of course, security, one major factor when it comes to the nitty-gritties and arrangements that are taking place behind the scenes, which also have a lot to do with adhering to the customs of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. He was also Inkosi of the Buthelezi clan.
That's right, Tempo, and as I speak to you, we're standing at the gates of the entrance of Kwaphindangene. We just saw 3 vehicles marked bodyguards, so that speaks to the aspect of security. We know that the undertaker, the funeral parlor being Ixebuleti, they're bound to arrive here at around 12:30 to come and fetch the family and then make their way to where our colleague Mnisi is stationed at the mortuary to fetch the remains of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi. As you know, according to tradition and customs, then there will be, from the point at which the remains are fetched from the mortuary to come back to where we are, there will need to be someone, and I'm told that someone will be Ntuthuko Yezwe Zuzifa Buthelezi, the son of the IFP founder, will be speaking to his spirits to fetch it from the mortuary and speak to it and continuously explain to the spirit of Buthelezi what is happening where they are moving until he finally arrives back home. You'll know that as a part of the tradition as well is also for the family to be able to have one last moment to say goodbye. You'll remember during the week that the family indicated that he will not lie in state, and so perhaps they'll have the coffin there, but they will not open it to have, Buthelezi there for viewing. So what we understand right now is taking place behind closed doors are meetings with the family, last minute meetings to finalize and tighten up the preparations. There's concern, about the numbers, the scores of people who will be coming out to pay tribute to Induna Esizwe Samazulu, who is basically someone who was loved and is a stronghold in uLundi. A guard of honor is also expected to take place in the town of uLundi, in the streets of uLundi, where those thousands and hundreds of mourners will be bidding him farewell. So that's where we stand in terms of the arrangements at the stage.
Very well, Ziyanda Ngcobo, painting a picture of the order of events on that end. Let's take you to Bongani Gema, who is on the other side of the homestead with Amabutho. Bongani, good morning. What's happening on your end?
Well, good morning to you. We've already started to see some activity right behind me. The Amabutho are now making their way inside the homestead. They've been here since the early mornings. And as you know, that Mntwana Wakapindangeni was not just a politician, but he was also the chief of the Buthelezi clan and also the prime minister of the Amazulu. So as tradition, he has to be accompanied by Amabutho as he leaves the mortuary, and also has to be welcomed by the Amabutho as he makes his way into the homestead. I was just speaking to them before we went on air. They were telling me that they've separated into groups. A different group will meet him at the mortuary and walk with him towards the homestead, and another group will welcome him as he makes his way here. I don't know if you can hear the noise in the background. They are already now chanting hymns. Thus, they are going to be chanting as he makes his way to the homestead. I want to bring Induna to just explain what is going to be happening throughout the whole day. Ubaba uSikeshe Khumalo Induna, siyabonga kakhulu isikhathi sakho. Siyacela nje kafushane usichazele ukuthi inhlelo zenu zimi kanjani namhlanje.
Amabutho njengoba lapha nje, amabutho enkosi yakwaButhelezi, umntwana wakwaPhindangene. Inhloso yakhona bekuyikuthi uzohlangatshezwa namhlanje. Amanye amabutho azoza nawo aselela azomhlangabeza mayise lapha nje afawe ukufika la kule ndawo. Selokhu ke kusuke nje ke kuzwakele ukuthi inkosi isibuzile. Induna za inkosi lokhu ihleli lapha ngokuba busy, kusalungiswa yonke leyo nto leyo, kusahlelwa.
Okay.
Nanjengamanje nje akukho ke ekungaqhubeka nakho kakhulu ngoba sisangena ngaphakathi kusawohlanganwa kwenziwe inhlelo zokuthi kwenzeka kanjani kusukela kumanje. Njengoba niwabona nje amabutho eviliyele ephuma ngala kusazohleleka ukuthi kwenzeka kanjani. Siyabonga.
The Induna uSikeshe Khumalo just saying that they are now awaiting instructions from the family, because they are also going to be told by the family what time inkosi yakwaPhindangene, umntwana wakwaPhindangene, is going to leave the mortuary. But he cannot delve into much information because, as you understand, some of these things are tradition and they take a side of secrecy when it comes to them. But I must also mention that we spoke with the Minister of Police yesterday, who said that they are appealing to Amabutho to behave today because they will not be taking away their weapons, because this is tradition, they must carry them past. They are counting on them to behave as expected, although, enforcement will be tough on the ground.
Very well, Bongani Gema, Linda Mnisi and Ziyanda Ngcobo, they're out in KwaZulu-Natal in uLundi, giving us a sense of the order of events and, of course, what the expectations are as the remains of Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi will reach his home today. Those developments are ones we will continue to monitor throughout the course of the day.